Michael Bennett never expected that a simple room for rent sign would transform his life. At 38, the widowed high school literature teacher had grown accustomed to quiet evenings with his 10-year-old daughter, Lily, their Victorian home in Boston's historic district, once filled with laughter, now echoed with memories of his late wife Claire, who had passed away 2 years ago from cancer. Financial pressures had finally forced Michael to rent out the third-floor bedroom. When Olivia Chun appeared on his doorstep one rainy April afternoon, something about her immediately stood out. Despite her simple jeans, worn sweater, and university backpack, she carried herself with unconscious grace. The room is $800 monthly. Utilities included, Michael explained as he showed her the modest space. It's nothing fancy, but it's quiet for studying. Olivia glanced around, her dark eyes appraising the room with unexpected thoroughness. It's perfect, she said without negotiation, pulling out an envelope. First and last month's rent, in cash. I can move in tomorrow. Michael hesitated. Don't you want to know about house rules? Or tell me about yourself? A careful smile touched her lips. I'm studying economics at Boston University. Final year. I'm quiet, clean, and I keep to myself. Something in her tone suggested the conversation was over. Over the next few weeks, Olivia proved to be the ideal tenant, respectful, tidy, and remarkably self-sufficient. But peculiarities began to emerge. Despite claiming to be a struggling student, her few possessions were of exceptional quality. The textbooks on her shelf included first-edition classics worth thousands. Her laptop bore no university stickers, but was clearly custom-built, and top dash of dash the dash line. Most curious was her schedule. She attended no regular classes, instead spending hours on private calls in fluent Mandarin, voice lowered but tone authoritative. Occasionally, Michael noticed black luxury cars idling down the street. Watching their house, the mystery deepened when Lily developed a high fever one night. Panicked and with no medicine at home, Michael found Olivia in the kitchen, calmly making tea. I heard Lily coughing. May I help? She asked. Before he could answer, she produced a rare Japanese fever remedy from her bag, one that Michael recognized as impossibly expensive and nearly impossible to find in America. How did you... he began. My family has connections, she said simply. It will help her sleep. When Lily improved within the hour, Michael found himself staring at Olivia with new eyes. The supposed college student held herself like someone accustomed to being obeyed, not like someone struggling through finals. Who exactly had moved into his home? And why was someone who could clearly afford luxury choosing to live in his modest spare room? As summer approached, Olivia's presence in the Bennett household shifted subtly. Though still reserved, she began joining their dinner table occasionally, revealing a sophisticated palate that seemed at odds with student life. She spoke knowledgeably about wine regions Michael had only read about and discussed economic theories with a confidence that suggested practical experience rather than classroom learning. One evening, while Lily was at a sleepover, Michael found Olivia in the kitchen preparing an elaborate Chinese feast. My mother's recipes, she explained, the rare mention of family catching his attention. I thought you might enjoy something authentic. Over dinner, something in Olivia softened. Perhaps it was the exceptional wine she'd produced from her room. Vintage worth hundreds that she'd casually opened because it's Tuesday. Or perhaps it was the absence of his daughter's watchful eyes. You're not really a student, are you? Michael finally asked directly. Olivia's chopsticks paused mid-her. For a moment, he glimpsed calculation in her eyes before she sighed. I am enrolled at BU. That wasn't a lie. But no, studying isn't my primary occupation. Before she could elaborate, her phone rang. Checking the screen, Olivia's expression changed instantly. The warm woman across from him disappeared, replaced by someone coolly professional. She answered in rapid Mandarin, her tone authoritative. The next morning, a sleek, black Bentley idled outside their home. Through the window, Michael watched as a distinguished older Chinese man handed Olivia a portfolio. Their conversation seemed tense, with Olivia finally nodding reluctantly before the man departed. That evening, Michael found an envelope containing opera tickets on the kitchen counter orchestra seats worth thousands. The note simply read, "An apology for my abrupt departure. Please bring Lily. Children should experience beauty early." When they attended, Michael was stunned to see Olivia's photograph in the program as a major donor to the Arts Foundation. The usher treated them with unusual deference, escorting them to a private box usually reserved for dignitaries. Professor Bennett, a theater board member, whispered during intermission, "We've been trying to meet Miss Chun for years. Her family's foundation is quite secretive despite their influence. You must be very special indeed." Michael returned home with more questions than answers, and a growing awareness that his feelings for his mysterious tenant are becoming dangerously complex. Whatever game Olivia was playing, he was no longer sure he wanted to uncover her secrets. If it meant she would disappear from their lives, the facade began crumbling on a rainy Tuesday afternoon. Michael was grading papers when an urgent knock at the door revealed two stern men in impeccable suits. "We're looking for Chun Shiying," the taller one stated without preamble. "It's a family matter." Michael's confusion must have shown. "There's no one by that name here." "Perhaps you know her as Olivia Chun," the second man clarified, presenting a business card that made Michael's eyes widen. "Chun Global Enterprises, one of the largest financial conglomerates in Asia." Before Michael could respond, Olivia appeared on the staircase, her expression unreadable. "It's all right, Michael," she said softly. "They're my father's men." The truth emerged like a flood. Olivia wasn't just wealthy, she was Chun Shiying, sole heir to a $40 billion empire, spanning technology, banking, and real estate across 3 continents. For the past year, she had been living under a simplified identity, evaluating potential investment opportunities in Boston while escaping the suffocating expectations of her family. "Why here?" Michael asked later that night, still processing the revelation. "Why us?" Olivia Shiying looked around the modest living room where Lily had fallen asleep watching a movie. "I saw your advertisement the same day I walked out of a board meeting where my father announced my engagement to merge with another conglomerate. I hadn't been consulted." Her voice remained steady, but her hands trembled slightly. "I needed to remember who I was beyond my family name." She touched a framed photo of Michael's late wife. "And then I saw how you created something genuine. Here, love and stability, without wealth or pretense." I wanted to understand it. The next morning, a formal car arrived. Olivia packed a single bag, leaving behind most possessions. "My father is ill," she explained to Lily, who clung to her with tears. "I must return to Hong Kong immediately." As the car pulled away, Michael found an envelope containing a check with more zeros than he'd ever seen, marked for Lily's education. Beneath it lay a handwritten note. "Some prisons have golden bars. Thank you for showing me what freedom feels like." That night, Michael watched in shock as Olivia appeared on international business news, announced as the new chairwoman of Chun Global following her father's sudden hospitalization. The poised executive addressing the world bore little resemblance to the woman who had sat in his kitchen just days before. 6 months passed. Michael and Lily settled back into their routine, though the third-floor room remained untouched, a shrine to their mysterious former tenant. Occasionally, Michael would spot Olivia in financial magazines or business news. Always surrounded by powerful men, her expression politely distant. On Lily's 11th birthday, an unmarked package arrived containing a rare first edition of her favorite book, along with a jade bracelet and a note reading simply, "Not all fairy." Tailies end when responsibilities call. X. Michael tried to move forward. He dated occasionally at his colleagues' insistence, but conversations about mortgage rates and school district politics seemed unbearably mundane after evenings, discussing global economics and ancient poetry with Olivia. Then came the letter from Chun Global's Boston office, an invitation to discuss educational initiatives. Intrigued but wary, Michael attended the downtown meeting, only to find himself ushered into a boardroom where Olivia waited alone, dressed in corporate armor, a tailored suit that probably cost more than his monthly salary. "My father passed away last month," she said without preamble, her voice carefully controlled. "I've spent these months securing my position and neutralizing those who thought a woman shouldn't lead." Michael nodded, unsure why he was there. "I'm establishing an educational foundation," she continued. "Your expertise would be valuable. The position includes significant compensation and flexible hours to accommodate Lily's schedule. You're offering me a job?" Michael asked, confused by the formality between them. Olivia hesitated, then disabled the room's security camera with a remote. Only then did her professional mask slip, revealing the woman he remembered. "I'm offering a bridge between our worlds," she whispered. "I can't walk away from my responsibilities. Millions of livelihoods depend on my leadership. But I haven't stopped thinking about the life I glimpsed with you and Lily." Her vulnerability in that moment, a powerful executive reaching across an impossible divide, moved him more than any grand gesture could have. "We've missed you," he said simply. "Both of us." The transformation happened gradually. What began as Michael's consulting role evolved, as Olivia carefully reconstructed her life to accommodate what mattered most. The educational foundation became her passion project, with headquarters deliberately established near Michael's neighborhood. Lily blossomed under Olivia's influence, her natural intelligence nurtured by opportunities that remained grounded in the values Michael had instilled. If classmates wondered about the elegant Chinese woman who sometimes attended school functions, they never connected her to the business magnate reshaping global markets. For Michael and Olivia, building their relationship required navigating extraordinary complexities. There were weeks when her corporate responsibilities took her to 3 continents, board meetings where rivals scrutinized any personal attachments as potential weaknesses. Yet she always returned, sometimes arriving exhausted at midnight, slipping quietly into the house that remained deliberately modest despite her offers to upgrade. "Some people collect art or cars," she explained when Michael questioned why someone of her means would choose their simple life. "I collect moments of authenticity." On a snowy Christmas Eve, after Lily had gone to bed vibrating with excitement, Olivia handed Michael a small box. "This isn't a gift," she clarified. "It's a question." Inside lay not a ring, but a key and architectural plans for a compound in the countryside outside Boston. A main house designed to mirror their current home's cozy dimensions, with additional structures to accommodate security, staff, and Olivia's occasional need to conduct business. "I can't pretend to be someone I'm not," she said softly. "My responsibilities won't disappear. But I've restructured everything to be headquartered here rather than Hong Kong." Michael studied the plans, noting how thoughtfully they balanced luxury with the simplicity he valued. "The world sees Chun Xiang, business titan," she continued. "Only you and Lily see Olivia. I need both identities to feel complete." As midnight approached, snow falling outside the window of the home where they had first connected under false pretenses, Michael realized that their story had never been about wealth or secrets. It was about finding someone who sees beyond surfaces, to the person beneath, whether hidden behind poverty or billions. "Yes," he said simply, accepting both the key and the complexities it represented. "But I have one condition." Olivia raised an eyebrow, accustomed to being the one who set terms. The third-floor bedroom stays exactly as it is, he smiled, to remind us how this began. The woman whose decisions influenced global markets laughed with genuine joy, finally home in both her worlds.